I think we're live.
Mm,
It's going to go, yeah, it says YouTube.
yeah.
Welcome to Humanity Unboxed. Peace.
Or two. Yeah.
Or two.
Yeah.
Good morning, Michael. It's great to
Morning.
see you.
Morning.
It-
Good evening, by you. Okay.
yeah. Well, as you
Hmm.
were saying, it's getting lighter and lighter. We're
Yeah.
almost an hour more light than we were two
Yeah.
months ago, so it helps a lot.
Great. Great. Great.
Yes. Connection.
Yeah.
There's a lot in the world going on. And I know you don't know who Bad Bunny is, but I'm going to talk about him because I'm in love with this dude. He is
Yeah.
just the epitome of connection to me. Connection first to self, because he is, I don't know, I don't know what the right terms are, probably most streamed or most watched or blah, blah, blah
Yeah.
artist in the world at the moment, and he only sings in Spanish because
Hmm.
that's his first language. Isn't that just beautiful that he could get
And
there?
whatever he just, you and me speak both languages the same. So I can do both languages. It doesn't matter to me. So I understand he does it that way, but if he sings the best, the essence is the best. His permission slip is to speak in the singing Spanish versus English or versus whatever,
Hmm.
Afrikaans, whatever he
Exactly.
sings the most.
Yeah.
He feels. I mean, I don't know. I use acrylic paints because I'm when I paint 8, 10 pictures at the same time. I
Yeah.
cannot have oil. I would totally destroy everything else. So I paint acrylic.
Yeah.
Uh, I've painted oil, but it's too slow for me. From
But
my
now,
when
yeah,
everything comes in so
yeah, yeah.
fast.
But as
That's
an
why I
artist,
interrupt you. That's why I
yeah.
interrupt.
But as an artist, if the audience or if the world said to you, Michael, we can only take and have a look at your paintings if you paint in oil. You need to
Yeah,
learn to paint in oil.
yeah.
Um, how much of that are you going to take on, in your
Nothing,
expression?
nothing,
Yeah,
nothing, nothing. Never ever in my art, in my CD that I made, the books. I
yeah.
made my own formatting for my books, not
Mm,
a pretty formatting. So, but I understand it because the neurodiversity, it has to be understand, and you have to be understanding. So it has to be
yeah,
understood, and
yeah.
you have to be understanding. And I see so many. So I write for me. I'm the same as you said. I write for my stuff. So when I had another thing, and often I'm on another board as
Mm,
advisor, and I get this seven. What would you most resonate with? I said, and there was nothing in it. I said, I'm
yeah,
a monkey creativity, art creativity and stuff advisor and humanitarian, and I don't, I can't, I cannot be somebody else. I cannot
well, this is it.
adapt.
This is it. And a lot of art or a lot of expression, spaces of expression,
Yeah,
are regulated by what the audience wants, whether the radio is going to play it,
yeah,
whether the gallery is going
yeah.
to, um, yeah, see, now I get confused with Afrikaans and English because now I don't usually explain it, but now I am. Um, if they're going to exhibit it is the word. Or if you want to make it big, you're going to have to conform. And this is where I
From the system, yeah.
that. Yes. See, in Afrikaans, and I know it's very easily translated, but it just sounds different in my own language. There's a saying, and translated, it is if you mix with the chaff or the chaff,
Yeah,
the pigs will eat you, right?
yeah.
Um,
And what does that mean?
so this is, I said this to someone, an American person
Yeah,
last week, and they were like, "So what do you mean?" I'm like, "But isn't it self-explanatory?" But to me, it means if you conform, if you become like the rest, the people around you, or if you mix yourself with the people that aren't curious or they don't want to uplift or they're not there to grow, then you become like them and then you get scavenged upon. then
That makes a lot of sense in that context, but I have to
yeah,
know the context. So when you the chief, right? When you align with the chief,
yeah,
then
with
you
chafe, with
chafe. What is
CML.
chafe?
In
What?
Afrikaans, it's CMLs. It's the feed. It's the straw. The whatever
Oh, if you,
feed
then you
is.
get beaten by oh, now I
Yeah, yeah,
understand. I didn't ask out
yeah,
with the chief. See,
yeah.
my
The
neurodiverse
chafe.
gets
Yeah,
yeah. But that even would make sense for me too with the chief, because the chief doesn't want to change, doesn't want to get married. Once the they get it, and you
yeah.
align to him, then it will be get either eaten by him or by the pigs. It will
Well,
be if
chief,
you're
that's
system
not the
relevant.
kind of chief we want to align with,
No,
is it?
I know.
It's kind of
No, but
leader.
it's
Yeah,
our mind. I love to know how our mind works. It's so funny. And
yeah.
every mind works totally different. And my friend, I wash cars every week, and I was with my friend who has a child is extremely neurodiverse,
Hmm.
dyslexic, and I've because he has the patience. He's not like everybody else like come on Michelle, come on.
Yeah,
And so he does not assume he knows. He does not assume. Okay, so I teach him how the brain reacts. For example, yesterday it says pull the hose in that you don't scratch it on the floor.
yeah,
I understood that, but I still pulled it in. No, at the time, he said at the time while I pulled back the hose, he says don't put it in. I understood both, but I couldn't put them together. I didn't put them together.
yeah,
So probably in my logic, I would do it next time. I would not pull it, but
yeah,
why would I pull it for him if I want to kiss his butt?
yeah,
So you
yeah.
understand. So there is the brain works different for everybody, and that's it. So it just that's how we can be unique. That's why I say one of one.
Yeah.
If we cannot be unique, then what's the point? Because
But
then we
also, if we
we accept
can't,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
if we can't um, express our uniqueness, from a young age, we're told to conform, we're told to
yeah.
do this, we're told to sit
Mm-hmm.
down, if you, especially at this time in the world, if you move a country, then you have to become like the people in that country, you have to accept their culture, you have to speak their
Mm-hmm.
language. And yes, you have to do certain amount of those things, but you also have to connect to self. You also have to honor the fact that you are not of that culture, that your culture is still alive, that you speak, a different language, uh,
Mm-hmm.
or a language, or a whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You celebrate the world differently than other people. And I'm using a silly example now by migration. But you and I, even if we grew up in the same place, in the same culture, in the same language, we would still express ourselves differently in the world because that's what we're here to do.
But if we don't get that learned, that we first have to be self and then adapt to systems, nationalities, blah, 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 that's the problem. The problem is first, uh, uh, you know, see who you are in
Mm.
the context of systems and
Mhm.
then see yourself. And that's what screws it up, I think. And also that's why we cannot connect. What is a connection? Because I'm super system relevant
Yeah,
and adapt with the other person that's system relevant, or if I just be my one of oneness that nature gave me, because I'm not in nature, I'm off nature, and I am attracted to you or you are attracted to me, and we can play it out, not say, oh, you should be a Democrat or you should be a Republican or you should be Labor, whatever,
yeah,
No. I
yeah,
can love Labor people and I can hate them. I can be a Tory and I hate Tories and I love that one Tory,
yeah,
it is above the one of oneness, that knowing thyself is above any nationality. I said, who cares where you are from? That has cultural relevance if you resonate with that culture, but it has no political relevance or anything. I talked to a Jewish guy. They talked about podcasting about me from Tel Aviv.
mm,
We had so much fun. Nothing Jewish, other than he said, "Oh my God, real is real." The real stuff, and yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah,
other than this, there's a different accent. We had so much fun. We are a half an hour. We would just have blurred around.
yeah.
and it was nothing about Jewish and not Jewish, and nothing about anything. Yeah.
But he might not even be Jewish just because he's from Israel.
He was
Doesn't
Jewish.
Jewish. But
He
yeah,
was Jew.
I'm
He
saying
said,
we also
yeah,
have assumptions.
believers or none, believer or none. It could
Yeah,
be Christian, but not a. The worst Christians are the worst religious people. What I experienced, at least a newborn. I'm a newborn Jew. I'm a newborn. Somebody marries a Jew, then became a Jew. I'm an Arab. Now all of a sudden we're a whale. These are the worst because they know details that the born Christian, born Jew, born doesn't even know. You
yeah.
know, you marry a girl, all of a sudden you tell me stuff. It's just say that. Is this? Nah, you know?
Because I mean, there's this lady, and I keep forgetting to actually focus on her name because I just love her so much. She's an elder. She's a
Yeah.
older
Mm-hmm.
Arabic. Well, she's Arabic.
Yeah.
Not exactly where
Yeah.
she's in politics maybe. She says, you know, um, she's read all the religious scripts and all the books,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
Yeah.
why she doesn't like religion because once you read and
Yeah.
study them, you realize that it's just a tool for politics. It's
Mm-hmm.
just a tool to segregate. But those
Yeah.
that are practicing in whichever way they choose to
Mm-hmm.
see it from a different angle. So
Yeah.
they would, take certain aspects out of it and whatever denomination or whatever, practice they follow, would determine how they express it. But I love how she just, the guy even asked her, "Are you a Marxist?" And she said, "No, I'm not because I've read Karl Marx and not even
I'm
he was
nothing.
a
I'm
Marxist."
nothing. It doesn't
So
matter if
yeah,
I listen to this, and you get it from all over from me. You don't get it on
yeah,
only one person. Yeah, you
yeah,
might be right now more get from this and then this, but I'm all over.
yeah.
And that is the problem. It's like there's nothing wrong that's out there. There's nothing that's right out there. It's the one that is. I look at it segregating or bringing together, collaborating.
Hmm.
So whatever, if
Connection.
you believe in a certain religion, you segregate. If you believe in America needs to be Republican or Democrat, you segregate. If you think so, nothing is wrong between the parties or anything. It's just know what segregates us and what brings us together. And I think it's way higher than a political party or anything or
Yeah.
nationality that you bring us together, all human, because that's why humans are different,
Well,
and that's where we
that's
come.
the function of politics is to segregate, isn't it? The
Yeah,
function
yeah,
of politics is to lie, according to me, to be
yeah.
selling something that isn't going to follow through necessarily. It's to
No, it
create
doesn't matter.
image
It
of
means
something.
attention and attention promises and not following through,
Yeah,
not effectiveness.
yeah,
But this is the stuff that came. I don't think initially politicians thought about this. Yeah, something bad. So what I'm saying, it came in. Perhaps the top people who run this earth systemically are aware of certain things before, because we find that they always go natural rhythms and then prevent the people to know the national things, the natural thing. That what you study, for example, the permission slips, they know above them permission slips and cut the knowledge off, and that trickles down. But I don't think the shopping girl, that I went to a coffee shop and I said easy ice on the tea, easy ice, yeah,
yeah,
and there was all ice and just a little bit tea. And I went in. I was really upset because I kept telling them this over and over. And
yeah,
I said, I know your bosses. This is not you. I don't feel offended, whatever I say. But
yeah,
your bosses need to be told, because it is so unbelievable. I showed her a cup. I got an extra cup to show her how much tea is in this. And it was like this much tea. This
yeah.
much tea was in the iced tea that was this.
Hmm.
I don't drink a lot or whatever, but I wanted to drink the tea. And I said, that's not you that executed. It's not the mayor that executes it, because he loses his job if he doesn't do it. See, if you have a Republican or a Democrat mayor, neither one. I'm saying this stuff, and you don't do what they tell you from top down, then you lose your job. And you have a job, you can do a lot of good, but this and this you cannot do good. And that's where communication actually, as long as you deny that everybody is a part of you and you are a part of them, not that you are them, not that I have, you and I like each other, we don't have to marry or anything. Yeah, you know, and you know, and if you're gay, then it has nothing to do with me, right? I'm just saying. See, all the labels segregate us, segregate.
Yeah.
And then they also the bad things when they say the lesbians are gay. Oh, he was always gay, or she was always gay, but she didn't trust because the system said she wouldn't. Every labeling is segregation. So I look, don't care about the label. Everything is what it is, but is it segregating or bringing us together? That's why I always look at this human centricity of connection. Also, it's so
Yeah.
rewarding connections, which you know. I mean, we have never met, and this is so rewarding.
Yeah.
That's and you should do always what enjoys you, what brings you, what grow makes you grow, what you like, not to suffer and grow, but to what you
Yeah.
like to grow. Yeah,
Although there's growth in uncomfortability, that there is an element of being uncomfortable that helps us grow. Um, but
I
but
don't know.
action is
I don't
always
have
the
to.
point.
I don't. I've never felt uncomfortable with you right
No,
away. I mean,
but yeah, but you also, if we were the only two people, if every day was just us talking, we would also not grow because we would become more and more alike.
yeah,
So there would be
yeah.
no difference too much.
I don't know
There will
because
still be a difference, but
if
you know,
it would
we,
always be together, that would be the thing. But I'm thinking even one day, once a day, because I learn so much, I can, bring it to the table always. I always have something to bring. I never, and I understand that too. That what I wanted to actually tell you, I said, when I look at our energies, mine and yours, you are looking more for the permission slips, and you're more attracted to what history or life has shown us. And and that was told by me from very high things. I'm a map maker. So I go into the country and say, what can I do with this country?
mm,
And claim the stakes. I am a map maker, and then in future, in 10 years, there's a train rustling through or whatever.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I say I'm not interested at all reading about you. Said you last time you read for a thing and you really studied that, and
mm,
I like said it was very impressive.
mm,
But I have never the joy to read something old and bring it into the new. So
yeah,
so for example, when I Campbell, yeah,
yeah,
great, awesome, right?
yeah.
And I don't want to. I have my own interpretation of Campbell. I have my own
But you can
interest
only
for
interpret it
what.
when you have a
I,
knowledge
I
of
know,
him.
I know, but
Yeah.
I'm
So
not
there is,
interested. I don't even want to go into that
yeah,
because
yeah, because you've already processed it, is what I'm trying to say. So your
yeah,
connection to him doesn't need to be all Campbell or
I
the
know,
Rizal, I think I was
yeah.
talking about, or I'm
Ellen
rereading
Watts or
Alchemist
whatever,
or
Ellen Watts or
Ellen
something.
Watts or
So
whoever it is. Yeah,
whatever it doesn't, or Shakespeare. Like people go
yeah,
back to Shakespeare, and I've read Shakespeare, in a group, so my speaking and reading gets better.
yeah,
I did Shakespeare, and for 2 years or so, also from my art, for
yeah.
words and everything, and I did that, and I loved the challenge it gave me to read it, but the context didn't do anything to me. I
Yeah, but
loved it.
the thing though, so it's the lens that you're looking at it from.
I
If
know.
I know Juliet, Romeo and Juliet, I've heard the story, I've read it, I've done it,
Million.
now Claire
Yeah.
might be doing it, and now suddenly she has to interpret certain aspects. So now I can look at it, and this is
In
she's
her
learning from
perspective,
me.
yeah.
Now we can look at it from a different perspective. Or The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, or
Yeah.
alchemy, which is an old form of
Yeah.
science in a way, or chemistry or whatever, or the Yggdrasil, or
Yeah.
it all
But you're a
comes back
specialist
to
in permission
stories.
slips. That's your thing. you especially. So when I see permission slip, I send it to you
Yeah.
because say so because when I go to Michelle, she can give me something that I can grow. So for example, I want a relationship and say, Michelle, what do you know about this? Then you'd give me 20 different permission slips that I can try and say, what am I resonate most with capitalism, with whatever you read. I don't even know
Yeah.
the names, because I'm so bad in names. So I uh, I would say go to Michelle. She has probably 10 different things where you can really build a foundation with a relationship and then do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I would say when she tells me something, I would read her and I would perceive the one-on-oneness of her and say, what is obvious, like I see she's jealous already. And I said, that's a problem driving people away. When you're subordinate, that's a problem driving people away. When you're not when you try to doing something peaceful for a person, it's not you. When you want to appease a person, yeah, a girl or a man, doesn't matter. That's all. That's how I would say it. But with you, would say, "Hey, perfect. I tell you this, what I tell him, and
Yeah.
then you give him a literature to them, and that's so why it's so great. And people don't see it as permission slips; they see it as the wisdom and truth. No, there's something you interpret and see how you explained that to me. You
Yeah.
said then, so that shows you that is your forte. You you say, hey, because also there's something very important. When you want healing, you the one has to choose healing. So when you say to me, for example, and I love Eckhart Tolle, so I said I read that 30 times that book.
Yeah.
But let me say, you say, Michael, I think Edgar Tolle. I said, no, I don't like that at all. And I
Yeah.
didn't. 12 years ago, I threw the book. I bought the book, read it. I could nothing do, and throw it out. And
Mhm.
then I read it 30 times. So how can that be? Because I'm in a different space.
Yeah.
And that's where you get the permission slips. I think I have to decide. I have to decide to get healthy. I have to decide to grow. I have to decide to get a relationship or not. I have to decide that. And what does it give
Well,
me?
it's also not decide. It's also, I think,
Allow.
become. You
Become.
want you become the person that has a
Mm-hmm.
relationship or that understands Eckhart Tolle or wants to understand Eckhart,
Yeah.
or whatever it is. But you can't necessarily, decide I'm now going to be, I don't know, a racist. I don't know. No, I can't. I can never decide that. I'm
No.
going to be, a person that fits in a box. I don't want to do that. So whether I decide it or not, it's always going to be uncomfortable for me to be something I'm not. So yeah, there's an element of deciding, okay, I want to do something, but there's also an element of
Yeah.
first I need to know who I am and whether that is part of who I am and want to become.
You think that choice is first? I think that feeling is choice. So if it draws me to my, even if it's false beliefs. If I think I want to be an actor and I cannot act ever, yeah, I can never be on anything. But if I want to go by that emotion, or do you think because the decision, the choice is everything? I know now I'm working so much with
Right.
education
Yeah.
that you can choose not to hurt people, that you can choose not to hurt yourself, that you can choose that. But you need to be first saying that you can do that, because you can go out of a victim state and say everything can kill me, and the earth is wonderful. It doesn't hurt you or anything.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
you experience that. So it's interesting to look after that. If how is it? It's probably balanced. Choice. It's probably all. But where do you go on the spectrum into the duality? Like that, from here to there, in the middle. Where's the best? Where's the place where I find the middle? The middle, the best, where both are balanced. Yeah.
Well, you
The
first have to experience the outer, the
and
unbalanced.
that's the
And
experience is exactly. And so that is communication. That's actually what are we talking today? Communication or
Connect,
connection?
connection.
Connect. So that is the connection. So
Yeah,
I can connect with something. Okay, Michelle, this is so great. We have to do this every day. Not working. Yeah,
yeah,
we have to do it when we like, which we do,
yeah,
which gives both the opposite. So we have found in our when we do it, not we do it every day, whatever, or
mm,
once a year. We do it how we feel in that moment, and that could also change. Then you change me, you call me, or I call you. You know,
yeah,
say
yeah,
I couldn't do it. So
yeah.
in the connection is also a balance,
Hmm.
and of the one. But if you don't see each other as one on one, that's very hard to do.
Yeah.
If
Or
I
if you
see
don't see
myself
yourself as one of one.
one on one, yeah.
Yeah, because
Now
that's
and
the
the other too,
conditioning. Yeah.
yeah,
The conditioning, though, is that we are not, we are one of all,
yeah,
we all one. We are all
exactly.
one, but we can only be one if we express the oneness of us and
And
understand,
accept, because
accept. Yeah.
we are not like, let's say, with two girls, we say we do what girls do. No, never we do what girls or men do. We do what one of one is of you, and one of one is, and whatever brought us into the attraction, we balance that, because I understand you are one on one, I'm one on one, and if I feel like seeing you every second and you don't, you know, that
Yeah.
that's just how it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I value our relationship, I'm not gonna push you. That's for, you know,
Yeah.
we do
Yeah.
it,
And
and
that's
then use the, oh, this is good, and then use the system element. That's what girls do. Michelle, let's say I'm going, Michelle, why you don't do that, and then make you wrong, and then I drive you away,
manipulate.
manipulate.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
even if
Which is
the
the
how we
language.
talked about relationship, how that fits
Yeah.
in the connection.
Yeah, exactly. And that's often what forces connection is
Yeah,
manipulation. So a real connection is like this bad bunny, Benito is his name.
yeah.
It is for me knowing his story, knowing his background and understanding from my perspective what is all this symbolism that he's using, how he's connecting to
Yeah.
other people, his connection is
Mm-hmm.
what makes him beautiful to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I now feel a connection to his expression. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and for me, that is where we connect to each other. If we
Mm-hmm.
can understand where we come from, if we can
Mm-hmm.
understand who the other person
Mm-hmm.
is becoming, chooses
Mm-hmm.
to become.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or is sourced in, because if I know somebody is sourced in a in a war area,
Mm.
it's a different person that I talk to, that is on the in on Sheffield or somewhere beautiful, on a beautiful metal born in a house. There's a totally different thing. One is grown up in New York, and one is grown up in Switzerland. There's difference. There's difference to also see where they come from in that context, to be more intimate. That has value, but very little, because I have seen the most calm people from New York and most relaxed people from New York. As you talk to them, in my podcast stuff, I I would say, where are you from? Oh, I'm from the Bronx. I'm from the,
Yeah.
crazy, Harlem or anything, and then totally relaxed from Harlem, from whatever. It's just totally relaxed.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, although, the cultural story also has an effect on who we are and how we experience the world.
Yes. Yes.
I think Trevor Noah is a great example of how he's used his story and,
Yes.
his context. He has got an amazing ability to connect to different people in
Yeah.
different languages. He can speak 7 or 8 languages.
Yeah.
Um, and he can imitate and he can connect through the rhythm. He calls it he picks up the rhythm of the language
Hmm.
and he gets to really connect to those people, which I think is a superpower, really.
Yeah,
Um,
and it doesn't
when you
matter
can,
what he believes or anything. He just says his perspective. He'll never say. Trevor never says, as much as I've seen. I'm not a fan. I'm not always on the. I'm not. I don't have a TV for 20 years. So,
Yeah.
so what I saw from him was he looks he looks at the thing, has a conversation, wants this conversation to lead to somewhere, and ask questions, and then also he wants to uh, he um, he wants a conversation that is not confrontational, even though he says very confrontational things. So if another person says the same thing, would be very confrontational, but he says it in a normal, in a humane way,
Mm.
and then from that humanity, I think people are attractive. So I'm just pulling that in from the thing.
He
So
is, you'll see whenever he speaks to someone, he doesn't go with the mainstream view of them. He would
yeah,
always bring up something like, "You remind me of sunshine," or "Yeah, you've just become a dad," or
go South African. Yep. And
yes,
the South African, you have, I have 4 or 5 people from, I have lunch with.
yeah,
They all have, I can now, because I am with those people, sense that the earth where you're born has influenced you.
yeah,
And what you just said, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It has, and I think it's an important element that's really missing in a
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
places and spaces, and I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that's why this Benito's kind of messaging resonates so much, is that he's bringing that out. He's saying, "I am Puerto Rican and I am American too, and I speak Spanish and I choose my people and my family and and yours, in your expression of who you are."
All
And
he
it's
can do is
about
express himself. That is the core. If you cannot express yourself in English or another language in other culture, leave it. Know the culture that you know. For example,
yeah,
I know very well there's different dialects in Vienna, yeah, and Styrian dialect and all kinds of stuff. Like Schwarzenegger talks different than me,
yeah,
and and I know that, and I enjoy that, enjoy to see that,
yeah,
and so you bring something automatically with you from Finland. From today, I saw a Finnish guy. He was very like Finn. Why they say Finns are, very introverted, very peaceful, very, like. And
mm,
you saw that, and that's why I say culture. You can't make global culture. That's what they say. Oh, in America, we are offended when you say the N word, but in other cultures you might not be. That's why you can't use a system relevant like language to forbid something, but you can forbid that the language, for example, calling out fire, free speech, yeah, fire in a theater, because you endanger, because fire means something in the action. If I say earthquake, fire, whatever, I understand that you cannot say, but you can say everything that a word is a word. It doesn't have a.
yeah. Now you're opening a can of worms.
No, no, no. I'm speaking to learn. I'm speaking to learn because
Yeah.
I'm not 100% clear on it, because nobody's clear on it.
Yeah,
Nobody has
and I
ever.
agree. I agree because there are, ways that we speak that is some people find offensive. We have a politician in South Africa
Yeah,
that seems to really like a song that says to kill a certain, group of people, and he sings this song,
yeah.
kill the bird, kill the farmer, and that's not cool. I'm sorry, I don't care which culture you come from. When
But then I give you another thing.
that's
Tell me,
not.
explain this to me, okay?
Mm,
If you say CUNT
mm,
here in America, it's
yeah.
an absolute no for women. For guys, of course.
I hate that word, so
No,
it's
but I'm
difficult for me
saying,
to say.
but
Yeah,
but
it's
but
too
when a man
judge.
says to another way, CUNT, yeah, with other
Yeah,
men in England, I find it very funny. I find it not funny when he talks to a woman, but when he
yeah,
talks to another man, I find that, oh my God, is this great? Is this great? You
yeah.
effing see, to a man, I find it fantastic.
That is very
And so
cute.
how do you get peace in this? How you bring both together? Not that I'm not saying I say good and bad bring together, not either or. So how
Yeah,
do you bring that together when you can say, man, why can you say the N word out and say we shouldn't use that word? Now you're saying the N. What is it then? What is it gonna in 10 years? You cannot say N even, because that could be the, also, what does it do with the letter of N? Uh,
Yeah, yeah, that's a lot to do with intent, though. What is your intent in using that word? But
Absolutely.
yeah, what this guy.
Then I must say the N word, because there's no racist intent right now.
Mm,
I should have been able to say the thing, and we don't see the segregation to bring it back together. See, this is the whole thing of education that comes up to me all the time.
mm,
We and it starts with thinking and learning, teaching and learning.
yeah,
Teaching and learning is one, from your first breath to your last breath. You teach and learn, teach and learn, teach and learn. The infant comes out, he cries, he's red, he's whatever, and he teaches whoever takes care, and he teaches what is care. So he learns what is care.
mm,
So if I cry, I get taken care of. So there is no segregation of teaching and learning. Do you understand? That is good that we understand it, but now we have to bring it together, and education never brings anything together. Oh, there is something with bed bugs. They find it, find a poison for the bed bugs, whatever, but there's no bringing it back. How can we avoid naturally that we have bed bugs, for example?
yeah,
See, that's it. There's nothing going back. Oh, space costs a lot, but what does it mean to being? Going to space and whatever. What is the Earth stuff for going to space? Is that necessary? Why? There's no discussion because there's no money in it. It's about discovery is a lot of money because we systemized discovery. That comes in now. We systemize the curious thing that the kids don't get in here, don't get in there, don't open the door, don't the natural human figuring it out,
yeah,
is gone, and then we don't know what excites us because hey, I'm not supposed to do this in it. As a woman, I should not supposed to do this. No,
yeah,
as a woman, you are human. You should do everything that you feel good with harm to none and
mm,
don't hurt anybody. And that's what needs to be teach the kids,
yeah.
not to
But
not to say
education doesn't need to teach them that.
education is you know what education is done. I'm for not even using the word education.
Yeah,
Teach learning is the whole thing, and it should be only a thing to make you aware of it, so you can your whole life teach learn easier. Isn't it? Isn't
yeah.
it?
Or unschooling. I mean, that's the whole point of
Yeah,
learning is to unschool because the school is the doctrinate, the
exactly,
conditioning is
exactly.
it's
It's
the
against
asking
you.
permission to
It's
go to the
against the
toilet.
one-on-oneness, the
Yeah,
self, know thyself. It's Oracle of Delphi, know thyself. Everybody,
yeah,
know thyself. But nobody, what does it mean in the life today? It's totally ignored. Oh, be like everybody, but AI people, like that people. I'm
no,
sick of everybody being everything. I'm me. I'm responsible for me, not for you, not for because we're both woman or man. It just or both Republican or whatever. We don't. We are you, and also even with the Republican Democrat, that is the biggest thing. It's so sting because every research shows that everybody is either in the middle. It's not Democrats, no Democrats, nor Republican, or no Labor, no Tory. Yeah. So nobody is like that. But when it comes to election, they're drawn into the corners. So what I also saw, kids, every race is involved in their group. Before the election, that race looks different. That the congregation looks different because the people in the old times nobody cared what you voted. Nobody cared. Nobody cared if you're a Tory. If I like you, I'm in love with you. If I am, you know, if I and you would like me, it doesn't matter because the human is more important. But the human is getting less and less worse. And what I saw with AI is that it becomes from the tech industry, it becomes the wisdom which makes the human and you like the word what's the word agency less you like the human. So because that's also the human agency gets less with AI.
Yeah.
Because it's because you
And it
read like what it
regurgitates
suggests,
that.
you read, you do everything it suggests. You're
Yeah.
not, you're not, and it suggests by not be three dimensional.
Hmm.
It suggests by being two-dimensional, binary.
Yeah.
So you suggest a binary thing and get even. So now you're not aligned with the we are woman, we are man, we are Republican, whatever, with a jargon, with a vernacular. But now you're where the wisdom comes from, or the thing, and it comes from nowhere, because all this stuff we all know isn't worth. It's worth only in the collective when you look for patterns, not
Yeah.
for you and me having that conversation. I mean, look at this. We had no idea. Just re-listen to this episode. I mean, I'm not just saying it, I'm living it. I'm
Yeah.
living it with you. And we always look, because we are saying unboxed human. And we
Yeah.
look what we do. Say, oh, Michael said that, and that I reacted like that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's a
And
good
that's
place
the only thing you
to
can do.
kind of
That's
draw
the
this
only
in,
thing you,
because this is what connection is, though, isn't it?
yes,
It's
yes. And this is
connecting
the
to
only
the
thing you
human.
can do. There's
Yeah.
nothing else you can do. Watch
Yeah.
yourself and what you do with others,
Yeah.
in interaction. Wonderful.
Exactly.
God, man,
Brilliant.
but man, life is good. Yeah. Not we are good, life is good.
Exactly.
When
Thank
you
you, Mike.
allow yourself to live it, not when you copy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
creative.
Well,
Be
that's it.
creative and create it, and live it. Not just copying. Oh, they did this. Nobody can do ours. So I just tell everybody wants to copy this, that you have to show me that first. Yeah.
No, there's no copying because there
And
isn't
there's
much copying.
no working for it. There's always fun, always monkeying around. This is what it's all about.
Exactly. Thank you so much for another
Thank you.
great
Oh my
conversation, I
God.
suppose.
The less we know before, the better it is.